Every week, 800 million people ask ChatGPT for something: a recipe, an essay, a plan for a trip. Most of them pay nothing at all, which is strange because according to leaked financial documents, the company behind it lost over $20 billion last year. And that's not a scandal. Around here, it's normal. Almost every AI company has spent more than it made every year since this began. Businesses that lose money like that usually disappear. These ones keep growing, so something unusual is going on. To understand it, you have to follow the money, all the way through the machine. This is where it goes. Start with the question itself. When you ask an AI something, your words travel to a building, a real one, full of computers, and the answer is calculated there, calculated on a special kind of chip. A high-end AI chip costs around $30,000 to $40,000. That's more than most cars, and they don't work alone. They're stacked into servers, 8 at a time, and the servers fill warehouses. Those warehouses are hungry. In 2023, data centers used about 4% of all the electricity in America. Government scientists expect that could reach 12% by 2028. 12% of the whole country's power for buildings most people will never see. And here's the part that makes accountants sweat. The chips wear out. Not physically, they go out of date. A newer chip arrives, and the $30,000 one from 3 years ago is old news. So you don't buy the machine once, you keep buying it forever. Add it up. The chips, the buildings, the power, the replacements, every single answer burns a little of that money. Charge nothing for most of it, and the arithmetic does what arithmetic does. So who covers the difference? First, investors. In March 2025, OpenAI raised $40 billion in a single round, the largest in history. By October, investors were valuing the company at around $500 billion. A business that loses more money than almost any other on Earth became the most valuable startup that has ever existed. Second, the giants. Microsoft, Google, Amazon, and Meta are building the warehouses almost everyone else rents. Their combined construction budget for next year, according to their own plans, is around $725 billion, up 77% in a single year, one of the largest private build-outs ever attempted. And third, quietly, borrowed money and promises. OpenAI alone has committed around $300 billion to a single cloud provider over 5 years, part of a plan to spend $500 billion on data centers before the decade ends. Believers, giants, lenders, all of it flowing toward the same machinery. Why would anyone pour money in like this? Because this happened before, and last time it paid. Amazon lost money, or made almost none, for the better part of a decade. The bet was simple: become the place everyone shops and profit arrives later. It did. That's the script every AI investor has memorized. Lose money now because you're buying something with it. Habits. 800 million people already reach for the same chatbot without thinking. The bet says whoever owns that reflex owns the next computing platform, the way one company owned search, the way another owned the phone. And there are early signs the bet can work. Anthropic, one of the biggest labs, says it expects its first profitable quarter this year, with revenue growing, by its own announcements, faster than almost any company ever measured. But a bet it remains. And bets work both ways. Now the question this whole story has been walking toward. If everyone is losing money, the money isn't vanishing. It's going somewhere. Follow it. The investors' billions go to the AI companies. The AI companies spend most of it on computing. The computing runs on chips, and the chips, overwhelmingly, come from one company. Last quarter, by its own official filings, that company, NVIDIA, brought in about $46 billion. And of every dollar that came in, roughly 72 cents was gross profit. While everyone upstream burns money, the company selling the machinery keeps nearly 3/4 of every dollar. And it's not alone. The power companies get paid either way. So do the builders and the landlords under the warehouses. The pattern is old. In every gold rush, the reliable money is made selling supplies to the miners. Oh, and one more thing, buried in NVIDIA's own paperwork. Nearly 40% of that $46 billion came from just 2 customers. The filing doesn't name them. It calls them Customer A and Customer B. But that is a different video. So how does a story like this end? Honestly, one of 2 ways. And it's worth knowing both because the world has done this before. Ending 1, the bet pays. Costs keep falling, the habits stay, prices quietly rise, and today's losses become tomorrow's monopolies. $20 billion a year wasn't loss, it was tuition. Ending 2, the 90s called. Back then, telecom companies borrowed fortunes to lay fiber optic cable for an internet that was surely coming. The internet came, the companies still went bankrupt. The money arrived slower than the debt, but the cable they left in the ground powers the cheap internet you're using right now. The build was real, the businesses died anyway. Which ending is this? Nobody knows. That's what makes it a bet. Whichever way it goes, remember the shape of it. 800 million people asking free questions at the top, and a few companies at the bottom quietly collecting almost everything. And some of that money moves in a stranger pattern than anyone likes to admit. It moves in a circle. Next time, we follow it.